A soldier reported that all the zombies had been defeated. However, 67 soldiers and slaves had become casualties. This information convinced Hong Lian that they needed to take action. Her assistant asked if that meant launching a preemptive strike. Hong Lian understood that the zombies' actions were being controlled by someone. They needed more information to deal with this crisis. Though it was risky, her right hand advised they observe the situation first. Perhaps another force would rise to resolve the problem. But Hong Lian believed the massive number of zombies, combined with the snow sect gathering more than 10,000 people, was like preparing lunch for the undead. She firmly stated that they couldn't rely on anyone else. If they were to rely on something, it should only be themselves. With that decision, Xiao Hong Lian ordered Dong Ku to take 2 outsiders and 30 elite soldiers to investigate the zombie nest. Meanwhile, in the snow sect, Zhang Yi was informed that in the last attack, more than 1,000 people had died and would likely become new zombies. Additionally, new followers were experiencing a crisis of faith and might abandon the sect, damaging the morale of others. Zhang Yi explained that in the past few days, his right-hand man had been organizing people to spread the message that almost all survivors outside had been wiped out by zombies. Without the snow sect's protection, they stood no chance against the zombie onslaught. It was better to die in faith and attain salvation than to die outside in sin and become a zombie. Zhang Yi decided to spread news that all other bases had been destroyed, with more than half their residents dead. His assistant agreed, seeing this as an effective way to motivate the followers. In the infected outposts, piles of corpses were everywhere. Although people felt safe behind the walls, they had no idea what was happening beyond them. All they could see was the mountain of bodies. Zhang Yi instructed that this information be broadcasted, blaming the tragedy on their lack of devotion to the snow sect. This way, they would realize that joining the sect was a blessing. His assistant made sure the message was spread and praised the high priest's wisdom. Meanwhile, Zhang Yi and his team approached the entrance to the subway tunnels. Their mission, to eliminate the zombie king. Zhang Yi believed they could defeat it if they found it. But safety was still the top priority. They couldn't afford to get trapped in a battle against a horde of zombies. There was no point in killing many if it cost them everything. Zhang Yi threw a light stick forward and sent Uncle Yu ahead. He was the key player in this operation. The surroundings were chaotic, but no enemies were visible. So they continued their advance. The team consisted of 4 others, plus the mutant cat. Despite the horrifying sights around them, they had no choice but to move forward. Zhang Yi explained that zombies acted on instinct to feed, not to infect dead bodies and turn them into new zombies. Chun, understanding this, noted that the zombies seemed to have enormous appetites. She recalled that the number of dead in Tianhai far outweighed the living, hoping that they would merely become food, not new zombies. She also wondered what the zombies would do once they ran out of food. Would they migrate to another city? Zhang Yi answered that it didn't matter. What mattered was killing the zombie king to ensure there were no more zombies near their shelter. As they ran, the mutant cat sensed something lurking nearby. Lian threw a knife and hit the creature directly. When they approached to investigate, they discovered a giant rat, larger than the cat itself. This shocked Chun, despite her own massive body. Zhang Yi explained that if his cat could mutate and grow, it was no surprise rats could do the same. Chun grew worried, seeing how many bodies the rat had eaten. She suspected there were many more mutant rats in the area. Zhang Yi told them to keep moving. But suddenly, thousands of mutant rats poured out of doors along the corridor, attacking swiftly. Zhang Yi armed everyone with flamethrowers, initially intended for zombies. But they proved highly effective against the rats as well. They roasted the rats to halt their advance and continued on their journey. Their goal was to hunt the zombie king, not to fight rats. To demonstrate his power, Zhang Yi opened 2 massive dimensional portals. From both portals, rats were drawn in from either side of the corridor. Lian was impressed by Zhang Yi's increasingly powerful abilities. Zhang Yi explained that after their last battle, he had studied dimensional magic and had now succeeded in opening 2 portals at once. Lian noted that Zhang Yi's abilities had not only grown stronger, but also far more efficient. Once the rats were gone, they continued along the subway. As they ran and checked the subway map, they wondered, were these rats allies of the zombies, or were they hunting them too? Zhang Yi said it didn't matter. The only thing that mattered now was finding the zombie king. Moments later, they came across a cluster of zombies. This might be the place where they would encounter their target. The zombies wandered the subway without turning around. They didn't even notice Zhang Yi and his team. Uncle Yu stepped forward and noted that the zombies were asleep. Zhang Yi explained that as zombie hosts, they would go into hibernation when not receiving orders. Since it took a tremendous amount of energy to control them all, Uncle Yu suggested burning the zombies while they slept. Zhang Yi observed them and noted that they must have some biological characteristic that forced them to rest. Perhaps sound could awaken them. To confirm this, one of the zombies suddenly woke up, followed by others who turned to face Zhang Yi. They immediately charged at the group, forcing Zhang Yi to open a dimensional portal and suck them into another realm. But the zombies showed intelligence. They stopped just in front of the portal, aware of its danger. They screamed to alert more zombies nearby. Zhang Yi quickly equipped Uncle Yu and Chun with flamethrowers and ordered them to burn the zombies. Uncle Yu and Chun began incinerating them. Before long, the creatures retreated, reacting to the threat. While chasing the group, Lien mentioned that the giant rats were still pursuing them. However, she added that it wouldn't matter, because once they found and eliminated the Zombie King, the rat problem would be solved too. As they pursued the zombies and hurled fire at them, they suspected that the Zombie King might have already fled. Perhaps after sensing their presence. Still, Zhang Yi decided they must push forward. Elsewhere in the subway, a team of 3 was surrounded by mutant rats. A bald mutant with fire-infused punches managed to destroy several of the creatures. Their team leader suggested they keep moving and gather more intel. This was the group sent by Hong Lian to investigate the enemy. They continued on and discovered rows of frozen zombies inside the subway. When the dormant creatures sensed the presence of fresh flesh, they woke, turned toward their prey, and attacked. The bald man, terrified, shouted for everyone to fall back. He tried to stop the zombies with fiery punches and told the others to run as fast as they could. He would hold them off while they escaped. But then, one of them asked about a strange creature that approached unexpectedly. It transformed 2 soldiers into 4 creatures, each half their original size. Now, only the bald man remained, with burning hands and fading hope. Back with the main group, Chun commented that the situation was becoming more dire. They still hadn't found the exact location of the Zombie King and were unsure where to go. The area they stood in had multiple exits. But Zhang Yi said he had a feeling, the creature wasn't far. Moments later, deeper in the subway tunnel, a shadow of a massive creature appeared, followed by large, towering zombies. Uncle Yu asked if that was the Zombie King. Its drastically different appearance suggested it might be. But then, shockingly, 4 of the creatures appeared at once. Zhang Yi wondered aloud. Are these the Zombie Kings? Were they manufactured in some factory in China? There's so many of them. Not knowing what to do, Uncle Yu asked Zhang Yi for orders. Zhang Yi responded that they had to fight, but warned everyone to stay close to him and not scatter, as they were few in number compared to the monsters. One of the giant zombies let out a piercing scream, summoning a horde of zombies that charged toward Zhang Yi's group. Uncle Yu and Chun hurled flames to block the creatures coming from both ends of the corridor. Lien, with her expert skills, launched slicing attacks, cutting zombies into pieces. The battle became more chaotic when the giant zombies began hurling regular zombies at the team. Facing flying undead, Zhang Yi used his dimensional portal to absorb them and hold the line. But the giant zombies led the charge, pushing forward with their monstrous strength. Chun roared furiously while launching flames, wondering if the Zombie King enjoyed a hot sauna. The giant zombies responded by throwing more of their minions at her. Zhang Yi used his portals to block attacks from both ends of the corridor. They were trapped in the tunnel, but he managed to protect them, for now. Even so, they were still in trouble. The Zombie King had to be behind this, but they couldn't kill these monsters just yet. Zhang Yi told everyone to stay calm and observe carefully. He felt the Zombie King was near. Then, Uncle Yu activated his powers and charged at one of the giant monsters. Meanwhile, Lien attacked another giant zombie. She struck it in the chest, but the creature didn't fall. Frustrated, Lien wondered how one could kill something that was already dead. Zhang Yi ordered the mutant cat to assist Uncle Yu. He then activated his eye powers and shouted at Lien to move. He was about to strike. Lien quickly dodged the giant zombie. Zhang Yi launched his attack with a powerful scream. Die! A portal opened right in front of the zombie leader, and sucked it into another dimension. With the zombie commanders gone, Chun continued her assault, burning down the remaining undead. Lien could only watch in awe and fear. She was certain that no other human in the city could stop a zombie horde like Zhang Yi. She wanted to praise him. But Zhang Yi brushed it off, calling it a basic operation. He reminded everyone that it was far too early to relax. He pointed to Uncle Yu, who was still fighting a zombie that refused to die. And further down the corridor, more giant zombies were approaching. Zhang Yi grew concerned. He wondered if these creatures really were from a factory, and just how many of them still existed. Chun, once full of fire, now felt fear and confusion. She didn't know what to do anymore. Zhang Yi calmed himself. He said that the force behind all of this was far scarier than his own powers. He ordered Uncle Yu and the mutant cat to retreat,